Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? As you can see, spring is here. It's glorious here. I'm just down at the weir. We haven't had much rain in the last couple of weeks, so the river's very, very low, very, very calm. It's utterly beautiful, very, very peaceful here. In today's video, we're going to go back into time, as we always do, and you are going to see Ross and I make all of the metal surrounds for where the dormer windows are going to go. I was trying to actually get all of the work with Ross done in this video, but there was one morning where I had to go off and have a meeting with my neighbour, and so I left the camera with Ross. And yeah, it's fair to say that editing this video is the most fun I've had in a good long while. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll speak to you a little bit right at the end. Right, let's see what we got. Just a little bit of mud to start with. Not sure if anything actually wants to come or not. It's kind of all seems to be bolted together still. It's just the water's managed to wash some of it away somehow. I am not sure what I'd give for this bucket to reach an extra half a metre. Oops. Parfait. Santé.
À la vôtre. Combien d'heures?
Deux années. Combien? Oh, combien d'heures? Pardon. 128.
Oh, ça va pas.
Oui, oui, petit peu. J'utilise petit peu. Le mois prochain, je vais faire la fosse septique,
Ah oui.
tout le système pour cet bâtiment et là et là. Hi everybody, how you guys doing? Yeah, it's a Tuesday morning. Ross was a bit poorly yesterday, so we didn't come in. I am here before him, and yeah, last week we were in such a rush to get things done that, as you can see behind me, it's turned into a bit of a pigsty down here. So I'm gonna go tidy this up right now, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Do okay. What's your dog's name?
Henry.
Henry. And Henri.
Henri. Yeah.
Henri. These are roughly right. Like we don't need this line here for the time being, do we?
We've
Or
got a
do we?
mark on the floor, haven't we? So we could take the line down for the minute. It's not a million miles away. It's literally a millimetre out both directions. You know.
Yeah. So you're going to tack to this one
I'm
here?
going to get
or-
a slightly fatter tack here,
Okay.
so
yeah.
we can do a bit more pulling around. Yeah.
And when we're going on top with this, are we?
Yeah. So if you put that on top, I think so. We are slightly low your end. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty good. It's just a little bit of a gap here, but like, you know, you see that, and that's chuff.
Yeah.
So it just dips ever so slightly here.
Okay. Well, let's,
Unfortunately, this is going to be right where we are going to be putting a dormer on, but I don't think it's going to matter.
yeah. Well, let's
too
try.
much.
Let's get this welded straight. So
Yeah.
Drop that off a minute. Drop it on the floor.
Yeah.
Dad.
Let's try that.
Okay, so that's where we started from.
All right. I've got an opportunity to snap the bottom one again
Yeah.
if we need to.
Okay, so that's pretty much, let's push that forward. That's where we welded it last time.
Okay. We can take this away now.
Yeah.
Happy with the height. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We don't need to worry about that anymore.
So the height is good. We
Height
just
is
need
good. Now we just need to
pull it into the
to pull it into
touching the level.
to
Straight in, yeah.
fair. What we are doing right now is we are making a little jig, so Ross can get on and make all the fronts of the dormers. These are, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah. We haven't got microphones on, so and it's quite noisy. Yeah, this is what we're doing. We're living the dream. It's an inside day today because there's rain due, lots and lots of it. Right. Happy?
Yeah. rigid yet. Don't want it to be rigid just yet. That will come along once we get there. Okay, what we've done, Richard, is we haven't cut the wood in the right place, have we? Oh, Richard. Richard. Let's cut that back off, won't we? Right, let's try again, shall we? Right, now we need to measure diagonally, and that will tell us how we are fixed. For that we will need glasses. Here we go. From the corner, does make a difference where you hook the tape, of course. 256. 256 on the corner, right in the middle. 256.5. So this is longer than that. So our first equation is, are we the same length there? 2222, all the Desmonds. 222, no, so we are shorter here. Okay, so we've got a shorter leg there, so this piece of tube is possibly slightly longer, or it's not hammered up enough, which would make sense because there is a gap there, so we'll slack that off, like so. We will batter that up there, so it's touching the bottom of that. I'm about to clamp that one that way on the jig. What about that? Okay, that's cool, isn't it? Right, now we've got clamps in the way of our measurements. We are still 2222, so we're still going to be short here, aren't we? We'll bang on 222 there. Take these out of the way. Through here, just give that a little tap. Okay, we're now bang on there. So corner to corner again. 256, that puts you spot on. Slightly longer there, which we were slightly longer before, weren't we? So let's release the timber. 2562. 2562. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, I think we're good. We'll tack that together and then we'll measure again. If this works, we can build the next frame on top of this frame. Right, so we'll have a little measure. 2562, perfect. 2562. So that is very square, that's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clamp this corner to this. And I know we are reliant on timber here, so we can only do what we can do with that. Let's hope it holds it together enough. Right, crank the amps back down there again because we're far too high on the amps there. 15. This stuff's quite thin wall, so you get a nice burn without actually burning through. I'm going to run another weld over that because that's a bit ugly, to be sure. That's a bit ugly. Flip that over, weld the other sides. Okay, that's now very tight, but it should go. There we go. Let's run the tape over that, make sure we're not out of square. 2562, 2562. Right, we are about a millimetre diagonally out of square, but given with what we're working with, I don't think we can do anything about that. Right, so I'm going to try and weld this up without it warping like mad now. The thing about welding is you can kind of go off in your own little world. Some of my best ideas when I'm welding. So the reason I'm dotting around is so that we don't put too much heat in one corner, because that will pull the frame out of square. And we don't want that. It's hard enough as it is on a windy bit of wood. Oh no, my hat's in the rain. Man, it's in the mud. Mr. 40, I don't want to work in no more. Right, let's try again. Measure once, 2, 5, 6, 1. Okay, so we're a mil out of square over that distance, which that even may pull in when it cools down, to be fair. Gusset weld down the inside of the corners, get it off the table. I can stand it up for that, to be fair. That's very warm. No, I'll do it, I'll drop it down. I'll weld down. So basically we do there is get it really hot, let gravity run it down for you. 50, right, that is all welded up. Number 1 done. Just got to replicate that 4 times and get 4 exactly the same. So I'm wondering whether I'm better off putting that back in the jig. Got to take the corner off the jig. Fusion between woodworking and metalworking. To be fair, you can never see the appeal of making things in wood. It's up to me. Everything in the world will be made out of metal. My idea of bliss is something from Flash Gordon. Everything is just riveted together. There's some nice rugs, maybe. Right, will you go on? Come on, girl. Come on, Bridget. On you go. Lovely. A little bit of light tapping. We like a bit of light tapping, don't we? Right, well the good news is these are standing here and filling up with rain, just to make it more fun. A friend used to say, the good news is there's no good news to have to worry about. Fine, absolutely fine. Right, what is going on here then? Because we are short of one of these then, in that case. What is going on? Oh, it's over there. Rightio. There it is. As you can see by the metal we're using, we worked on the assumption if we left it in the puddle, that would help tremendously. We're going for the patina of Normandieism. Right, we can use little clampages for this. Little clampage, set square. I could do it with a hammer actually. I'm not going to get a hammer out of my box. I haven't feel I'm too old for all this. I think at this point I should have definitely won the lottery. You're living the best life. Although where would I be if I could be anywhere in the world except for here today? Answers on a postcard. Any suggestions will be taken on board. Right, where is all the... Oh, there they are, on the floor. That's where they are. On the floor, of course they are. If we store things on the floor, a lot less chance of them falling on the floor on their own. And that is slightly big then, that one. I have to take a bit off of that because we are sitting proud. An absolute small amount. I don't want to offend anyone by using colloquial English, but there you go. That's how much we're short of. Short of or long of? We are long by the length of the chop saw blade. I don't think it was a Meatloaf song, but it should be. Oh, I say, sometimes I amaze even myself. I literally do. Taking that corner. I'm going to weld down the straight. Recheck that. Check that is right. Check the corners. It's all about where you tack, to be fair, when you're doing something like this. Can't rush it. As much as it would be nice to rush it, you can't. It's my 59th birthday last week. I spent it in Paris with my beautiful partner Tina. Seems like a long distant memory now. I'm standing here in the rain welding. So it could be worse. Not sure how, but it could be worse. They do say if it's going well, it sounds like bacon frying in a pan. Breakfast. I did have breakfast before I came out, so why am I so hungry? What's going on? I'll keep those fillets fairly small because I know he's got to put his windows in those gaps, so I don't want them to be encroaching on that. I don't want to be doing too much grinding if he can help it. Right, flip it over. Weld the other side. Job's a good one. You'll notice Richard's not here. He's gone off to a meeting of the local mill owners. Do believe they're having a soiree. Possibly strippers, I would think. It's a very French tradition of the old 10 o'clock stripper club. He comes back, have a look at him, see if he looks like he's overstimulated. Trying to find somewhere where the rain isn't running in. I don't think there is such a place as that. I think that's somewhere I would be making up. I even thought that. Right, I've got to cut some more of those down, like 1280s. Okay, cut some more metal. I always tend to turn the gas off in between because it's very expensive. And they do have a nasty habit of leaking. Oh, that's nice, that's in the rain. And today the rain is mainly coming that way. Exquisite. Come on, baby, you can do it. Oh, look at that. Man alive. If I pull that, will I end up pulling the building over, probably? And that's the sort of day we're having. Oh yeah, go on, stretch into that. All right, that's good because the electricity's got a much shorter path. That's got to be better, isn't it? Brilliant tool this is. Right, the metal that I'm picking up off the floor is going to be all soggy. Cut it off the short bit, I guess. I don't really know what to do. Lengths of metal, do you cut one piece off each long one and keep it the same length, or cut off the short one and leave the two long ones? It's just a dilemma. You guys think this is all easy, don't you? So complicated. What do we take measure? Anyone? Any clues, anybody? That's over there. It's all right. Soggy pencil, that's not going to work. Seem to have managed to have mislaid completely the white pen. So many skills involved in this job. I've now got to get my marker pen to write on a bit of wet metal. You guys think it's easy, don't you? Oh, it's just welding, mate. That's all it is. A bit of welding, eh? What could be easier? Oh, trials and tribulations I'm up against. How many of these do I need? There's 4, don't I? Just make sure that's about the right length. Make sure I haven't made a complete buffoon of myself. No, that's fine. No buffoonery here. Not just there, anyway. That's what I'd like to put that further on the table, so I'm going to have to catch it. There you go. Can't have everything, can you? If that's 1280, I will dance a merry jig. Oh man, look at that. Got enough left on there to take another one out of that. This is good on several fronts. Mainly, I haven't got to pick up a long piece just yet. Although, to be fair, I am only putting off that agony for about 4 minutes. Sounds Richard, back from the strip club. You'll use euphemisms about digging and trenches and all of that, but don't be fooled like that. We know where he's been. Don't we, people? Say nothing.
right, pal. Shall we? You feeling fit? I'll pop mine out there.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
Right. It's getting a hold of it in the right place, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got your step ladder right behind you. Do you want to just? Oh, you got it.
Swing around that little beauty.
Got it.
Over there without knocking the teacup off.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me.
Right, let me come inside.
Right. If you want to just stand on that.
Yep.
So it doesn't tip, and then I'll come
Then
up and.
we'll hump it up, yeah.
Come on, you lot. This is exciting. Right. Let's pop YouTube there. I don't know if I can do it by myself. Hey.
That's one out. Oh, careful, you're going to go off the end of the...
Oh, hang on. Just want to give everyone a ticket to the gun show.
Who is Julian Dupont and why has he signed our work?
That's the builders merchants.
Right.
Julien Dupont.
Okay. Yeah, okay. How dare he put his name on our handy piece.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so in theory, all things being equal and stuff of that nature,
Yeah.
where does that go?
It's there, the centre line's there, like dormer centre.
Okay. Come out of there. A bit more, yeah, we're there.
You ready, bud? Had your Weetabix this morning?
Oh, I had porridge this morning. Can't be good at it.
All right.
Further out.
Gotta go out to go in. We're gonna have to do the same again. Let's see if we can pop him on.
Let's tell me
there. Right, I'm gonna change my hand a second. There we go. Look, we need to be up over here. Look.
Oh, okay, hang on.
So go pick him up and let's walk back you backwards.
Okay, slide it past that.
And then we need to be
We
up.
need some more height, don't we?
Yeah. We should have all eaten more vegetables as kids.
Yeah. Right, where is the centre of our dormer? That was
The centre line is here. Bit something like that.
what is it, Joe?
And then should we just try and lift it and drop him down?
Yeah.
Oh, we are so short.
It's going to fall off of there, isn't it?
Huh?
It's going to fall off of that little peg, isn't it?
Yeah. But we are wrong somewhere.
Lift it up onto the peg a minute. There we go. No.
No,
Oh, man.
the peg is right in the way.
Yeah. So how far out of...
Let's get it just sat on here,
Yeah.
right? Because ultimately, if we've got to cut this off, then
I was just wondering if we clamp that to the bottom of the beam like we were going to do, and then we put the spirit level on here, let's see if we are out of square.
okay, yep.
Yeah?
All right, bud.
Let's go back and get our angle right first, yeah.
It's got to come back to you slightly, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we're 50 mil too far back, aren't we? Because these noggins were going to be
Okay.
well 2 points.
All right. Well, but that doesn't change too much, does it?
No, not a great deal at the moment. It's all too flat and too square, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But not too bad. There is a bit of a twist because this is our reference here, isn't
Yes.
it? So you can see there's a bit of a twist in it there. It's definitely got a fall in it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so if we added like 50 millimeters like to here,
Yeah.
then that would drop down enough to get us out of trouble there. Like, this is in the way at the moment.
Yeah, so we can whip him off.
Right. 69, 74, and 69 was up this end, I think. Okay, mate. So we can drop down. Okay.
If you come to this one I'm at.
Okay, I've got it.
You got it? Oh, just kind of got it for a minute.
What idiot said the windows need to be 2.1 metres high? If I made them 2 metres high,
Yeah,
we would be able to lift this easily. We wouldn't be fighting it so much. Well, that's kind of sitting roughly where it wants to be there. A little bit.
Looking more promising, isn't it?
To pull it down slightly to get her pinched in. Do we have another couple of those big clamps? Because I can clamp this down to the steel here.
Yeah, I think there's definitely 2 more of those downstairs. Right, okay, let's get that.
Well, I think we've got a twist in it, look, because it's
Yeah.
yeah. So we need to clamp this end down and
then see why we're twisted, yeah.
I think I've got because that's higher.
Right.
So I might have the blooming things the wrong way round.
Oh, okay.
Just to make life even harder.
Right.
So it's all right, you just hold him there, bud. I'm gonna try to do a switcheroo. Don't do that, Rich. That seems to be more to my liking. The knees, it's always the knees. Yeah, that's definitely much better. So theoretically, it's a gnat's chuff, but oh, wet knees, love it.
Lovely.
I love it. Right.
So
Now-
I'm wondering, has that, by pulling that down, has that straightened us up here?
Well, stick a level on, see what we've won. It wants to go like that. We're level. It's just we're on the piss.
Right. Okay, well that's, the good news is there's only 4 bits to that, isn't there? So,
Yeah. So, yeah, because we can't even like cut a bit and drop it because it's level.
no, it's level, it's just slightly trapezoidal, isn't it? As you say.
I mean, in old school, in wood, you would pick the thing up on the corner
Bang
and
it.
drop it,
Yeah.
and but obviously we can't do that here.
No, we can do the same thing by forcing it with a strap or something, you know.
But then is it not just going to pull back?
Well, you've got to oversail that to get it back.
But how do you then? What do you put into it to stop it from pulling back again?
Well, once it's gone back, it should be all right. We should measure the ones we've made and see if
Right.
it was a jig issue or whether it's the fact that when we've welded it to this, we've pulled it out of square.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the question, isn't it?
It is the big question, I think, bud. Yeah.
Because we put the heat in the corners, maybe that's enough to bollocks us, you know.
I mean, we really went to town on that, like
Mm.
making sure it was
Yeah.
square. So, but even we did the
I
corners.
diagonaled them and it was less than a millimetre.
Yeah.
By the time I'd welded the first one, it was less than a millimetre. I thought, well, chuff with that, you know.
Yeah.
But that's gone. So
Should we go downstairs and see what we've got? We've got square ones then. As you can see, we did run into a little bit of a problem when we were trying to make the dormer kind of skeleton. We were doing it on a bench underneath the first floor, and it wasn't exactly level. And so when Ross built it, there was a slight twist in it. So what we decided to do in the end was take it apart and build it another way. But you will see that in another video. So yeah, next video will be the last one with Ross, and then Peter will arrive. Of course, you guys have already met Peter, but yeah, that's how we're doing it. We have a little bit of a lag. So for the next few weeks, you're still going to see wintry scenes whilst we're actually all here, like in t-shirts and nearly shorts. Not quite yet, but yeah. Thank you to all the people that have left comments. We are still reading them all. If you have any questions, as always, start the question with Mulan, and we will collect those questions. So I guess all I need to say is like and subscribe, as always, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.